Hi, I'm Carolyn Shavino. Welcome to What's Happening in the World of Work. Today I have a special guest entrepreneur, and her name is Donna Jolly. Donna is the owner of
Halo Heat Sauna
Halo Heat
Studios.
Sauna. Yes, absolutely. And so and I can't even explain. We were just talking a little bit before the show. And as Donna just said, we keep it real, right? Of course. So before the show, I was saying, gosh, can you please help me? She was telling me about her journey. And I can't wait for you to hear this as well, because I am going to be going to Halo Heat Sauna very, very soon and starting my whole new regimen of taking care of me in the sauna, in the light, in the salt, with great breathing exercises. But I'll let her tell you all about her amazing business. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you so much for having me, Carolyn. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm honored to have you because I need you personally, okay? So this is like so selfish of me right now.
Sometimes we have to be selfish. Sometimes we
Well,
have to be a
thank
little
you.
selfish.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, before we dive into your business, let's dive into you
Okay.
and your career path. So tell us, Donna, how did you get to where you are as an amazing owner of an amazing business that's actually burgeoning? But we'll get to that.
Yes.
But tell us about you.
So I started my career really in Kansas City, Missouri. So
Okay.
I moved there from Arizona, fresh out of high school, and got recruited into the hospitality field by the director, a food and beverage director at Westin Hotels. And I thought that's what I was going to do for
Excellent
a while.
brand.
Yes. And I am still now Marriott. I'm still Marriott Properties, but previously Starwood, which I hear they're coming back. Okay, I digress though.
That's okay.
So said to myself, I think I need more money. So I should probably get a better job. And so that means I should probably go to school. So I decided to work full time and go to school full time.
Okay.
Which really was, although it was not the traditional route, it worked really well for me because as I was learning things academically, I was able to apply it real time in my career and advance.
Helpful.
So I advanced and kind of feel like I grew up at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas City. I was there for a very long time. They gave me a little mini retirement party. That's how long I was there.
That's amazing.
Which I laughed at because I was like in my 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so I had a director at the time that sat me down, and she was kind of my mentor as well. And she said, Donna, I know you want to advance. In order to get where you want to go, you need to leave. She's like, I did it. I came back. You can come back too, but you need to leave. You need to see other things. You need to do other things, and you'll advance.
Those are the words of a great leader.
Yes. Oh, yes. She was fantastic. And so I did. I took her advice to heart, and I left the organization and went to a software development company as a consultant.
Okay.
And I did that for a few years and then moved from software consulting into management consulting. Still within the healthcare arena. So I've been all about healthcare for a very, very long time. But consulting is really hard on the body.
Of course.
It is a stressful job. And so I said, I need to take a step back. I was starting to have health issues. I was becoming very overweight, and I was like, this is not healthy for me anymore.
What did you find difficult about consulting?
I think really it was just the stress levels.
Okay.
Yes. Like I enjoyed the firm I was with. I enjoyed the people I was working with. I mean, extremely talented, bright individuals, which just made working fun. But at the same time, when you're on the road Monday through Thursday, you're eating out nonstop.
Yes.
And even if you're trying to have healthy selections, it's just when you're at restaurants, you don't know what all additional additives are getting put in the foods.
Mm,
And
good
so
point.
I'm eating out all the time. I'm not working out as much as I want to because you're got client deadlines, so you're staying up late, you're not getting the appropriate amounts of sleep. It's
Yeah.
just a lot.
Yes.
And that's the part where I think when COVID happened, I was able to come off the road. And then when they were like, okay, now we're spinning everything back up again, it was at that moment I was like, I don't think I can do that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw the difference.
Yes.
And during that time where you were able to actually work from home
yes.
or have that sense of peace where you're not on the road and things like that, what changed?
So I think being able to have dinner with my now husband, and we did a lot of like home improvement. So that's when we also moved out to Aurora, and we basically remodeled the whole house while we were in COVID, which was again fun for me because I like doing things with my hands. So I was like, oh, I get to, change light bulbs and change light fixtures and
Nice.
paint and all of I was HGTV all day, every day. And my husband's like, okay, Donna, enough. And I'm like, no, we can just do this and we can do that.
That's fun.
Yes, it's fun. And so I think even though I was still doing client work, I actually felt like I had a life.
You did.
Whereas prior, it was client. And then on the weekends, it was my coworker. My coworkers were like my little insulated friend group. So we just were always together. So we're working, and then we're going out and drinking and eating, and then working some more. That's
Right.
all we did. That was it. So I think I really started to have that work-life balance when COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
which I know a lot of people found it hard, but I was like, oh, this is nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you found your gifting as far as redoing your home and saying, no, I really enjoy these things, instead of a lot of times when people stop traveling, they really miss traveling. So that is their roadmap, if you will,
Yes.
just to stay on the road, literally. And with you, it was like, no, it's time. But you enjoyed it, but you took advantage of that, and you stopped, and you truly looked at what you were doing and the difference between what you did do out on the road. And then you said to yourself, what? I'm stopping because what?
Because I need less stress.
Yes.
And so I decided at that time, thinking if consulting is the creme de la creme of stress industry, who were our clients, I was like, oh, they have the easiest jobs. I'll just go back to industry.
Okay.
So I went to a Fortune 500 that was spinning up a new business unit focused in healthcare. And I said, great, new business, it's separate. I get to be in a startup environment, which I also love.
Fun.
And I get to build something and have investment off of it, and then maybe make a profit in the end.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that venture got absorbed in the larger organization.
Okay.
And so it did not get to spin off on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that was happening, I said, okay, that's not what I'm signing. I'm not signing up to be with the red tape of corporate. I was signing up for a corporate backed entity.
Yes.
So I said, okay, it's time. This isn't for me either. So at that point, I was actually just blessed to be able to take a year off,
Yes.
which I had never, ever taken time off. Every time I would change jobs, I would give my notice, either 2 weeks to a month,
Exactly. Go right back.
and then have a weekend and start the new one.
Of course.
And I had been doing that since the age of 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I, in my 40s now, was like, I've never had just time.
Exactly.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And so, my husband was like, okay, so, what are you going to do with your life? And I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but I can't go back to corporate. And
Right.
I don't want to go back to consulting. So I'm going to have to figure something out. And so At the same time, I was being selfish because in our home, I wanted a new sauna.
Okay.
And so I'm out looking at new saunas online and trying to figure out which one I want. But at the same time, from a career standpoint, I was looking at businesses to buy.
Sure.
And I kept going towards this salt cave. And I was like, that would be kind of cool. It'd be a low stress job. Like people just come in, get a treatment and leave. Like it's kind of like my days at Baskin Robbins. People might come in upset and leave happy. Like it was fine. I was like, that's a great job.
That's great.
It's a great job. But it was in Evanston and we're all the way out in Aurora. And I was like, I can't, that commute,
Yes.
stress, can't do it. But I kept looking at it. And so because, you know, I allow Google to track most of my movements, it said, hey, you keep looking at saunas, you keep looking at salt caves. You want a salt sauna. And I said, oh, what is that?
I didn't even know.
I didn't know
that
it
there were
existed
salt
either.
saunas.
See, Google does some good things sometimes.
Listen, Google is my friend. I've
I
said
know.
that at almost every show, so
See?
I'm with you.
I'm okay with it. So I wound up finding this machine, and I, you know, filled out the little form and it's like, oh yes, contact me. And the lady contacted me immediately, and I was like, oh yes, I'm looking for a new sauna. And I'm chipper and excited, and we're just shooting the breeze. And then she tells me the price. Now I tell you, I've bought a lot of things for my home that my husband does not know the price that I spent. And I usually get it on sale. So I'm like,
Right.
it was on sale. And he's let me go. But this price, I could not. I couldn't
You
justify
can't
it.
slip in there.
I couldn't just come with a new
Right.
sauna and be like, and he would not be happy. So instead of just buying it, I said, okay, well, what can I do? Because I really like this sauna.
Yes.
I said, business plan. Like it just came to me. It's like, make a business model out of it. And that's what I did. I said, well, I can help other people and have what I want to.
That's outstanding.
Yes.
That was your calling, right? In that
yes.
moment, you kept feeling pulled and and you had a little taste of entrepreneurship
Yes.
with the startup,
Yes.
right? And you
Yes.
liked that, but when it was taken away, it was like, but you probably had that in you, like, ooh, that was fun. I like this.
I did. So my MBA is in entrepreneurship.
Well, there
Yes.
you go.
Yeah. And then when I was in Kansas City, I had a little side business with my elder sister, and it was a design company. I did website design and some graphic designs for people. Yeah.
Look at this talent sitting next to me. My
I
word.
like doing random things. I really
That's
do.
a beautiful thing to say and to actually do, but like to do random things. Sometimes, you know, people dabble and go, yeah, I do a little of this, but you're like excited
Yeah.
about dabbling. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I figure I'm supposed to be here to learn things. So
Yes.
I'm trying to learn things.
Well, I think you're sharing your talent too. You're teaching.
I come from a long line of teachers.
There you go.
Yes. My grandmother, uncles, aunts, yes, a lot of them are teachers.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about this polling. Tell me about this business idea.
Yes. So when I first drafted the plan,
Mm-hmm.
I had it that I wanted it to be able to grow quickly. I was like, it's got to grow quickly. I needed to be able to scale.
Sure.
And what are ways that we could do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, franchising. And so at the very
Wow.
beginning, before we even opened the doors, the plan was we need 3 corporate locations. We want to be able to franchise. And then hopefully a venture capital would see us and say, hey, this looks nice.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, okay, I can retire now. That is our plan.
Okay.
So we kind of Franklin Covey, start with the end in mind,
Mm-hmm.
work backwards.
Love it.
And so that's what we did. So I showed my husband the business plan. I didn't even tell him about the sauna at first. I showed him the business plan.
I bet he's happy now, though.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
but if you ask, you've got to ask him. If anybody out there knows my husband, he will tell you this story, and he'll be like, "She tricked me. She continues to do this to me all the time, and
it works.
I never." Yes, yes. But it wasn't. I don't see it as a trick. I see it as in a well thought out plan.
Right.
And I said, if I couldn't make it make sense, then I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So if I made it made sense and I can tell you, hey, here's what I'm thinking, and you say, yes, that does sound like a good idea, then why don't we try it?
Well, he's very supportive, and that's
He
a beautiful
is.
thing. He's walking beside you in this beautiful adventure,
He
working
is.
backwards. I love it. So I'm walking in the door
Yes.
at Halo Heat.
Yes.
What do I see? What do I experience? Take me on the journey of the inside.
So when you come into our facility, the first thing you'll notice is it's very bright
Okay.
and clean.
Okay, sure.
And that is because, like most spas that you go into, they want you to feel cozy and they're dim. No, ours is actually the opposite.
Okay.
We want you to realize that you're walking into a space that we care for and that you feel comfortable in. And a lot of people shy away from wellness and holistic practices because they're like, oh, it's too shishi foo-foo. So we said, no, we'll strip that down. Clean lines, clean spaces. And then when you get into your suite, which is a private suite,
Okay.
then that's where you can set the mood that you desire. So if you want it to be nice, warm colors, if you want it to be more soothing or relaxing, or if maybe you want to have an escape to like a seaside and you're feeling aquamarine and you're like, I need to see the sea on the TV.
Wow.
And I need to hear the ocean waves.
You're taking me there right now.
And I want to be bathed in blue.
Okay.
You can set the room up that way. We'll help you
Really?
set the room up that way.
Okay.
So that way you're doing an experience that you want to feel comfortable in.
Oh, that makes sense.
But when you initially walk in, you know this is a clean space. It's a safe space. So you come in, you will get greeted with a nice, invigorating scent. So we have our signature scent. It's called Clarity. But for your session, we offer customized aromatherapy. So you get to select the aromatherapy that you would want during your session.
Lovely.
So it's a little nasal ring. It sits right on your septum.
Wow.
And it delivers the aroma that you've selected. So even if you say you and your girlfriend want to do a session together in the same booth, you might have lavender, she might have eucalyptus. So you're still creating an experience that you desire.
Because you have that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you sell those separately so you can do
We
this at home?
do.
Okay.
So we give one complimentary with every session.
Nice.
And then we have some available for purchase in packs of 5.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah. So you have 45 minutes in the private suite. During that time, again, it's your space, your time. Some people just relax. I usually lay a towel down and just lay down and go to sleep because that was my whole goal, was to be able to lay down in the sauna. I lay down, have my sauna session, come out. Some people like to work out. Some people just do some gentle stretching.
Okay.
Some people actually will do like a full-on hot yoga session in it. We have a sauna that's large enough that you can take the chairs out, put a yoga mat in, do a Tabata workout, a HIIT workout.
That's outstanding.
Yes. So there are some people that like to do that.
That won't be me, but
No, yeah.
Okay.
Again, I lay down. We have people that watch cartoons. We have people that watch, Hell's Kitchen. We have people that like to watch ESPN. So we try to get to know our customers
okay.
and preset things on the TV if we know what they like.
Yeah.
But you can watch whatever you want on the TV. You can put on a meditation. We have
Nice.
curated lists of workouts, meditations, visualizations. So if you want to try something like that.
Yeah.
Crystal sound bowls. We have all of those kinds of things that you can select from, or again, you can watch your favorite show.
Fantastic.
So you get 45 minutes in the room. It usually starts out with the salt treatment. The beginning of the sauna, because they're infrared saunas, so they have to heat up. So while it's heating up, the salt is going. It's a dry aerosol spray. You don't even really see it, but after a while, you can kind of smell it, which is why I sometimes do like to put on the oceans, because then I'm like hearing the ocean.
You're there.
And then all of a sudden you kind of get like that. You might lick your lips and you'll have a little bit of salt and you're like, oh,
yeah,
yes, I'm in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
This is so nice. But I'm not really. But so the salt treatment lasts until the booth hits 104 degrees.
Okay.
So once the booth hits that, then the salt automatically turns off. And the booth continues to rise for the rest of your session. By the end of the session, if you do salt and sauna, it'll probably get up to the 120s, 130s.
Oh my word.
But it's a gradual rising.
Okay.
So you honestly, you can stay in there the whole 45 minutes, and towards the end you'll be like, oh, I'm hot.
Gotcha.
But then it's like, oh, it's over.
Okay.
So that lasts
so you're
like
not
10
walking
minutes.
into the blast.
No, exactly.
Okay.
And that's the key difference between infrared saunas and traditional saunas. This is a nice, gentle warming, and it just kind of fills you, and it's like a nice warm blanket that kind of covers you. It's really nice. So then after your session, you just dry down. Now, if you did salt and sauna, I'll tell you one key thing. Okay. Salt is antimicrobial, antibacterial. Mm-hmm. I like to tell people, if you're by yourself, there is a lock on the door. Go ahead and lock that door.
Right.
And just go sans clothing.
Okay.
Because the more salt gets on your body,
yes,
the more it is able to neutralize odor-causing bacteria.
Wow.
So it's basically giving you a dry shower.
Okay.
Before you start sweating.
Okay.
So when you're able to dry off, you're able to put your clothes back on and you can go right on about your day. But we like to tell you, before you go on about your day, join us in the cooling lounge. So now the cooling lounge, my other favorite part of the studio. So we have this vibroacoustic lounger. And I know some people are like, what is that? It's basically a lounge bed, right, that sends vibrational waves through your body.
Love it.
And the vibrations that were selected by our neuroscientists to ensure that they were giving you a frequency of relaxation. So it relaxes you at the cellular level.
Okay.
So now you've gotten detoxification at the cellular level through the infrared sauna.
Right.
You've helped your collagen production through red light therapy, which is also included in your session. And you've cleansed your respiratory system through the salt therapy.
Right.
And now you're lying on this lounger and you're just having that nice moment of zen. And you're like, I
feel that right now.
I know,
seriously,
right? But we're not done. One more thing.
Okay.
So then after that, you go in to the massage therapy area. So we have two different styles of massage chairs. We have the therapeutic and we have what I call the relaxation. The therapeutic will do your feet, your legs, your full body, your arms.
Nice.
And if you put it in what we call pro mode, it will also do some nice gentle stretching.
Okay.
The relaxation ones, I like to put those in sleep mode. It gives you some nice compression along the legs, full body massage, and then it rocks you like a baby while it does it.
Come on. Can I come right after the
show?
Yeah,
you technically can. Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yes, you can.
I mean, it just sounds amazing. It truly does, Donna.
Yes. So people leave out and they're just like, oh, that's so nice. And when people leave happy or like relaxed, like you can see it as they're leaving.
Of course.
That's what actually makes me feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile.
I believe you. I could see it. I hear it in your voice. You know, you're just so excited and just in love, really, with the whole idea of helping somebody physically.
Yes.
Seriously. And
Yes.
that's loving what you do. But the offering is so special because you're truly helping people's health,
Yes.
which is so needed today.
Yes.
It is.
Cardiovascular,
Yes.
respiratory, your hormone levels, like the whole gamut.
Yeah.
It truly is a de-stressor.
That's outstanding, really.
Yes.
And thank you for creating this opportunity for all of us here in Aurora.
Yeah.
And I hear that you may be expanding.
Yes. Yes.
Where to? Please tell.
Well, my broker sent over some properties, so we're trying to narrow it down.
Yes.
I would love to hit over kind of towards like the Lisle side,
Okay.
or go a little bit up north, maybe like the St. Charles part of town.
St. Charles would be lovely.
Yeah, so that's kind of the areas that we're looking right now. We'll have our current location, and then we also offer franchise opportunities. So
Okay.
we were able to get started with the end in mind. We documented everything as we were setting up. We modified once we started to see how things were going.
I love it.
And we were able to get approved for franchising in the surrounding states.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Very much so. I feel like I'm on Shark Tank. I do. I feel like I'm listening to this amazing story and somebody looking at me and me wanting to, tell me more. How much do you need?
You know what?
Hey, it's just a great opportunity.
If
for
there are any
franchise.
venture capitalists out there, hey, let me know. Or if anybody wants to franchise, feel free to email me. contact@haloheatfranchising.com.
Yes, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the last time we met was obviously not sitting at this wonderful arena, but you were sharing that you have some employment opportunities.
Yes.
So as the leader of your company, first tell us what type of individual you're looking for. Do they need to be degree? Do they need to come from the healthcare industry? What are you looking for
So
in a person?
it depends. It does depend. So most of the roles that we have, which are associate levels, those don't have to have degrees.
Okay.
But you have to have a willingness to want to interact with general population.
Sure.
So that's number one. So, and then it helps if you're interested in wellness and
Mhm.
wellness modalities, because having that natural interest and kind of like how I'm sitting here telling you, oh, salt is antimicrobial, antibacterial.
Exactly.
Sometimes I get real nerdy about health and wellness.
That's
and
great.
so if they can kind of like feed off that energy, it just
Yeah.
makes it better. And it also creates a better experience for our clients that come in, knowing that that the people that work there are interested in what's actually happening.
So maybe crossover skills then would be somebody coming out of a CNA type of training because
Yeah.
they have that medical background, but also that opportunity to care. I mean, I would think that's why somebody would go into healthcare, I would
Mhm.
hope, right?
Yes.
That they are caring for people. So maybe somebody coming from that arena would be
Those would be
crossover
great.
skills.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody that's kind of already kind of dabbling in healthcare or is thinking that they want to go into healthcare or has some kind of healthcare training would definitely be a good fit for us. In addition to that, because we are still technically a startup,
Yes.
we look for people that have cross-transferable skills. So
Great.
like one of the ladies that we hired recently, she's a graphic designer.
Wow.
And my husband has a visual communications degree.
Okay.
So the two of them get together and they start talking in language that I'm just like, okay, typos, type fonts, type what? Huh? Okay, you guys have fun. So we do look for people that are outside of the box.
Oh, nice.
She personally had a desire for wellness because she's gone through some health issues.
Okay.
But she brings this completely other set of skills.
Yes.
And she's willing to be like, yeah, I can help you guys out with some graphics. And Steven's like, yes, I need help. So thank you. Yes. those are the kinds of people that we like. So
Okay.
it doesn't have to be hard and fast. Yes, you have to be in healthcare.
Right.
It's that want and desire to understand wellness, to understand healthcare, as well as you saying, hey, here are other skills that I can bring to a startup environment, and I'm
Yes.
happy to help with these other skills.
Right. And perhaps somebody that is looking to possibly be a franchise owner,
Yes.
and that would be a good segue to see if, in fact, they want
wanna
to
do it,
participate
yes.
in this type of franchise, right?
Yes.
So, how do people get in touch with you? How do they, give you their resume? I know, obviously, you seem like the person you want to sit and talk
I do.
face to face,
I
because
do.
I'm like you. I want to know what you're all about. I want to see you.
Yes.
I want to read your body language. I want to do
Yes.
all of that good stuff.
Yes.
Make me happy about you. So what's your process?
So we do have a standard application on our website. So if
Okay.
you go to the bottom of our website, there's a little link for careers, and it'll take you to our careers page, and you can fill out an app there. Or sometimes for specific positions, we may post on Indeed and LinkedIn.
Okay, great.
So we do post on both of those. So we have a corporate page on LinkedIn. So feel free to follow that, because you will see the job postings that come up there. We're
Mhm.
getting ready to post one for a digital social media coordinator.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So we just got our sales, marketing, and communications coordinator in,
Yes.
and he's working directly with Steven on all things sales and marketing and strategy.
Good.
And so now we also need somebody to help out with those digital aspects, the social media, and help tie and execute on the strategy that they're developing. So
Please consider posting your job on the chamber website as
we
well.
do that too. We do as well.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's a great way.
Yes.
I know a lot of folks, unfortunately, don't understand that all chambers have job posting opportunities where anyone, not just chamber members, can go on the chamber websites, whether it be Geneva Chamber, Batavia Chamber, and of course the Aurora Alliance, which is dear to my heart. But you can see the jobs that are available. So please check that out. Also, please check out LinkedIn. I think that's a great opportunity to look you up on LinkedIn, Donna Jolly,
Yes.
and I'm sure you'll have a posting or a website opportunity for people to get on your link and see what other jobs are available. And then too, if you know someone perhaps getting out of college, there's so many folks getting out of college this year that I've just read a new statistic, unfortunately, are having difficulty finding work in their area of study. And most of that area of study happens to be marketing, that there's difficulty of finding opportunities. So if you're a student, and would you be interested in interns?
We do have some students now
Oh, good.
that are working. So they're we call those our seasonal employees.
Yeah.
So they're here for the summer. They'll be rolling out probably in August.
What a great opportunity
So
for them.
we do. We don't call them interns. We just call them seasonal employees.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Because you're in the middle of two great colleges right here.
Yeah.
Aurora and
Yeah.
Waubonsie. So very good, very good. Well, you know where to get a hold of Donna. I hope you do. But outside of the job opportunities, I think I don't know if I ever stop my my business, I'm gonna go work for Donna so I can get in and have some wonderful red light therapy
Yes.
and some salt therapy and just chill. Oh my gosh, that would be lovely. But until I do, I am definitely going to be one of her members. Actually, I just signed up, so I hope you join me in doing so. And corporate events too. And I'd like to end with talking about corporate events. I know my whole team is going to be coming for an evening, and I didn't know we could even do those things. So what a great
Yes.
treat for my great team. They're so excited.
Yes. We do private events as well as large scale events.
Yes.
So we've hosted Lead Her, Stroll Night Out. We've hosted a couple of churches.
Nice.
So depending on the size of the group, we work with the client to figure out what the best, flow will be. If it's a smaller group, everybody can have a full session. If it's a larger group, we usually break that down into micro sessions so that everybody can get a feel for it. But then the whole studio is open for leisure and eating and drinking and mingling. So depending on the size of the group, we have something for everyone.
That's outstanding. Now, on your website, is there a video link that people can?
It is on, I believe, our services page that gives a tour, a quick tour of it.
Outstanding.
Also, if you go to our YouTube page, Halo Heat _sauna, we have a walkthrough of the entire studio that has voiceover talking about the different amenities.
Nice.
And then we have a TikTok page too that has the walkthrough that you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you.
Yes.
Most importantly, I want to thank you for your vision, because without the vision, there would not be Halo Heat Sauna. There wouldn't be. It came to you because you had this gnawing at you to start something amazing, all by going and looking for a sauna yourself.
Yes.
I mean, that is just so incredible. What an awesome story. That's great.
It's been a great ride so far.
A true entrepreneur. And I thank you for sharing your story, your journey with me. And most importantly, thank you for the opportunity of going and relaxing myself and taking my team.
Yes.
And I hope it's okay with you for me to go ahead and post this session on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So people can get a hold of you.
Yes, please do.
Because it's healthy.
Yes.
And healthy is so important. And I know I'm trying my very best to infuse healthier things in my life, like healthier food, a healthier lifestyle. As I shared with you earlier, my career was always walking to business downtown Chicago, where out here I'm in my car and I'm behind my laptop. And I'll tell you, when things sit,
yes,
it's not very nice.
Yes.
So I thank you for the opportunity. I truly do, to help others and to extend yourself here today and your business. And I just wish you the very best of blessings. I look forward to being at your grand opening for 2 and 3.
Yes.
And meeting perhaps with other franchise owners and saying, yeah, you definitely want to talk to Donna.
Thank you.
If
Thank
you're-
you so much for having me on the show today. This has been great.
Ugh,
I love talking about what I do, so I appreciate
that's
it.
because it's real.
Yeah.
That's why. You're the real deal. And thank you so much for making me feel like I'm on Shark Tank today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Donna. Well, that wraps up show 14. And I just want to thank you for joining us on what's happening in the world of work. And please contact Donna Jolly on LinkedIn and take a look at Halo Heat Sauna. Thank you so much.